Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Overdrive Online Crew Battles. How's it going, everybody? It is me on the microphone, Samifish, along with my good friend Klaige. How's it going?
Yo, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I am doing great. I'm very excited. We have a really fun crew battle. I love crew battles, especially in this game. I don't know why. For some reason, +R makes it hype. I don't know why, but it is the case. So, we're going to get it rolling in a sec. So, if you don't know what's going on, basically what's going to happen is that we are going to actually draft. So we're going to have the teams up in just a minute. If you go into chat and you write teams like this, you'll get the teams in a document. Sorry, I don't have it up on like a layout or anything cool on stream like that, but you can thank Melon specifically, who's basically getting everything done in the background and making everything happen, so we can basically just focus on simple stuff like, you know, me pressing a few buttons on OBS, mainly talking about the game, which is great. So the way that this is going to work, that we're going to really do a really quick first to one between the team captains, and then basically whoever wins gets first pick. We're going to go from afterwards. It's going to be a Pokemon style 2 lives style crew battle. So in the sense that basically going to pick, and then you have 2 lives, and try your best to, you know, not lose them. They'll keep track of it in the Google Doc, but other than that, I think so. Like,
Yeah, pretty simple to remember. As long as someone hasn't, just think of it as double elimination. They haven't lost twice, they're still available to be thrown up to the front.
So yeah, that's always available. You can have that up at your leisure, and we'll try to, you know, update as we're going along locally. But yeah, so just to give you sort of an idea of the people that we got here, a really good list of players actually. If you want to share with us, Cliff.
Yeah, so looks like we have coming up, we're going to be throwing it up. We have our 2 team captains, Tmunny and JacobPat, presenting Order Soul and Testament respectively. And for the cast of characters available to draft, let me get the Discord back up here real quick. So we're going to be able to have our captains choose from the following very talented +R players. We have Sunny playing Eddie, Elven Shadow playing Faust, of course, who is running a little behind but is hopefully going to make it here. X Phantom, Order Soul, Naj Testament, Jason Riot playing Soul, of course. Is Justice still in, or is that the old one? There was two things. You can tell I'm super awake at this point.
No worries. So we've had some subs and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
not everything is exactly as we call it, but you know, the teams will get filled out in just a
Yeah, what else we got here? Shadow Fox playing Order Soul. Booba playing Zappa, who had a really, really strong run at Frosty Faustings. Duck John, going to be our representative Cliff in this pool of players to draft. And who am I missing here? Trying to double check who has and hasn't been subbed in. But
no worries. That's a good list of the players. Just sort of trying to guys ideas on like who's going to be in it. We are going to do the draft in a second, and then we'll know for sure. We can, you know, schedule obligate that happen.
Yeah. We you know, the +R is, you know, kind of an old man game, even though there's a ton of new players. So sometimes us old men would be like, yeah, I'll do that. And then life is like, yeah, you think.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get it in a second. I think what I really like about doing a draft like this is that you can't specifically just think about your strength.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to, like, if you draft, let's say, like, for example, a really super good player who plays a mate character that kind of loses hard to him, right? Like, is it, you think maybe that type, like a player who's better can overcome that, or like do you play the matchup there? Like there's a lot of things to think about when you're drafting, like especially with a lot of these people who are like, you know, character stuff. Even if they do get picked into bad matchups, there's a potential right through. Like, how much do I want to put the burden on these?
Yeah, plus R, maybe more than any Guilty Gear, is a matchup game first and a tier list game a distant second. There are so many characters, you know, there's almost no characters in the game that truly get blown out of their matchups other than, you know, specific zoner versus a character that doesn't deal with zoning type of situations that pop up usually with characters like Potemkin or Justice, things like that. So, like, yeah, drafting with matchups in mind is, in my opinion, super important. And like the second layer of that is, you know, the player themselves and how they feel about the matchup. Like, I've been in quite a few of not necessarily these crew battles, but like the 25v25s and some other exhibition events for Plus R. And most of the time, what our captains and their teams are going to be discussing while they're, you know, getting ready to throw players up for the next match is, yo, how do you feel about matchup X, Y, and Z? And more, you know, more to the point, how do you feel about playing this player? Like, how do you usually go? Because that's kind of the great part of Plus R. It's such a, you know, everybody really does play everybody because the same people are on Plus R all the time.
Right.
So, you know, you've probably got some matchup experience against the person you're going to be sitting down across the way from. And that's going to be a huge part of it. So, yeah, I'll be really curious to see what they do to try and set up their team best for success by going, all right, they pick this, and now I'm gonna counter with this. Makes me actually wonder if you would rather draft first or second in this situation. Because do you just want to have first shot at who you think is the best player in the pool, or do you want to go, okay, they picked now, so now it's my chance to maybe pick the best answer to that matchup?
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, right? You can answer the matchup, you can just pick the next best player afterwards, right them, but you possibly also could protect that by getting spectator.
Tmunny and Jacob are warming up right now, so.
What button is spectator mode? Jeez.
Yeah, or I should say warming up, but this is to decide who drafts first. Excuse me.
Right.
And I don't know if we're just gonna alternate straight up, or if we're gonna do this like fantasy draft style, where if you draft second, you draft back to back kind of thing. Try to find that out real quick, but. And looks like JacobPat won that, so.
Oh crap! Sick. All right, I missed it.
You're all good. Yep, spectator mode. I know. I never use it either because unless I'm doing one of these, it's like, well, if I'm on Plus R online, I'm playing. So yeah, JacobPat won the draft rights game. We'll just call it that. And he's taking. Looks like he's gonna take Jason.
Okay, sounds good.
So, let the drafting games begin.
All right, so I will try to get this up on the side. But if you're looking into the organization, you can tell me like being drafted.
Yeah, I've got it
up on stream. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I got you right now. So yeah, so Jason is off the board. So 13 players still to choose from. And it looks like Tmunny is going to take X Phantom. So we have 2 Hosses on the team to start. So matchups are for suckers apparently. We just take all the Hosses. All right. So Jacob with the next pick, going to take Blitz. So we have Testament, Soul, Milia. Pretty wide breadth there of character styles. That covers, honestly, Jacob's team already covers quite a bit of the cast in some form or another already with that. All right. Tmunny is going to take Naj, so now we have a testament on both sides.
Okay.
As you are wont to do in Plus R.
There you go. I got it up on stream.
Awesome.
So we can follow along as we're going along.
Yeah.
JacobPat taking Bupa.
Yep.
Leave basically gets them covered for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that's you got Testament, Amelia, and Zappa already sitting up there. That's a good place to be.
I will say though, you know, as strong as the characters, it is a game where quite some time. So
Yup.
pretty much, you know, if you're playing characters, a character that isn't one of those characters, you definitely have played against them. You have to learn those matchups, and pretty much everybody here is a strong player. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the other thing to remember is crew battles are all first to ones. Like you get up to the set, you play one game, and that's it. And every character in Plus R is very capable of sitting down. It's like, oh, you weren't ready? Yeah, I'm mauling you. This is game's over. Next. So that's always the interesting part about these formats. Also, a little caveat we do have for this particular crew battle is we do have an 8-game win streak limit. So if someone does get up to the set and starts going on a tear, if they take 8 in a row, they got to hop off for at least a game.
I actually really like this. I did this.
I do too.
When I was doing more consistent. I used to do this King of the Hill thing for the Access stream. I would say if you ran the hill, then you would hop off, but we give you an
right.
Like trying to keep the momentum thing from like ruining, because momentum's such a big thing in fighting games. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Let's not blow out the exhibition, right? Pull them
back.
Yeah. I'll reward you an extra point for running the gauntlet, but you have to go back and that way, you know, it's an exhibition. We're here to watch some good Plus R, so
exactly. Yeah, I mean, how many times have you seen those situations happen in those big 25D25 over the years where, you know, you'll have a real back and forth, nobody truly gets warm, maybe someone wins 2-3 games, and then someone shows up and suddenly goes on a 9-game streak or something like that, and one team just has a massive hole to crawl out of because, you know, getting warmed up on a game like Plus R and you've got a bunch of people coming in cold, that is a not insignificant advantage to have in this kind of format.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Been hoping that you know, that's one thing. By the way, I love this. So one of the things I always talk about this with other games like Dota, where like Dota players will before and after and the in between games when they're playing in tournaments play pubs to keep warm, right? Like this is a very common thing, right?
Right.
And I see Plus R players do that all the time, like mid online tournament. They will just like, game's over, they're like, they realize they're like, you know, in semifinals or quarterfinals or something like that, and they're not going to play for like another 10-15 minutes. They'll mash like 5 games out in ranked or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, heck, that's what I want.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
every game to give you this opportunity to just be like, I'm staying warm, just gonna mash.
Well, and the great thing is the amazing lobby system of Plus R makes that super easy to do. And it's like you can literally you hop 2 menus, like, okay, cool, I'm playing games now.
I know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's great.
I wish this for every game.
Oh my gosh, it's like even games with good online systems. If I'm like, why is it taking me 30 seconds to get to a lobby? What is this? I need my fighting game crack. Why is this taking so long? I just want to hit a button, play games. And Plus R 100% enables that.
Think we're close. Talk through a bit of it. I think closer.
We're just sorting out the last few details of the draft here, and I think making a different lobby for this particular setup, probably to set the number of players.
No, Naj, I definitely don't forget, and I think it's a huge problem.
Oh yeah, no, the early patch of Strive was I mean, you booted up Strive and then you went downstairs or wherever your local kitchen was. You got yourself some coffee or soda and made a sandwich. And
it was like before the advent of SSDs. You just like you turned
it
your
really
computer
was.
on, and then you walked away to go do something else for 5 minutes.
No lies detected.
You remember when you first got your SSD for the first time and put your OS on it, and you booted it up, and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have time to make my coffee during it? What's going on?
Oh, I was still working as a network admin back then, so I had to go from my computer that actually booted up and then go work on workstations still running Windows 98 and 95 and just sit there and be like, wow, I'm really just beating a rock with another rock here. I've time traveled the wrong way.
Put myself in the spectator early this time. God bless.
Yeah, where is our?
Yeah, we threw it in chat, so we got the lobby back up. We're gonna have the games up in just seconds.
Yep. Also going to go to spectator mode. Oh hey, Fuga is playing for my lobby music. Who could have imagined this? It's not even me being cheeky. You don't pick the lobby music. It's random.
I know. Great.
Game just knows.
Just thinking about whether you can fix that or not.
Yeah, you'd think there might be a setting somewhere, but then again, it's like we already got everything you've ever wanted out of this game, and then some. You know, we talked about how great the online mode is, where it's like, oh, I'm not up yet. Cool, I'm gonna go, keep warm, play some games. But then you also get spoiled by the replay system, which is the greatest replay system in fighting game history.
Yep.
Just like more of this, please.
Yeah, so we're getting started in just a second. We're getting the team set up. We're getting them put into their respective Discords.
Yep.
So that way they can talk it out. They have their own voice channels as well. So hopefully everybody gets started and gets their stream team going, because there's got to be like stuff we got to talk about early on when it comes to putting your team together. Who's going? Who's our anchor, right? Usually you kind of want to set some sort of just like anchor of your joker, your trump card sort of thing. Things are going bad, or you want this last person, or you want this person to go last. Usually can kind of expect what the other team's trump card's going to be. So you either do you want to pick against it? Do we want our best character? Like counterpicking the trump card might be really valuable, so we might want to hold a player. And it's interesting. We don't have a lot of the characters that have super polarizing matchups. We only have one Potemkin in the group, and we have no Justice in this particular crew battle. So you don't have that initial spot like, oh, we got to save X for Y for the most part. This can very much be a, how do you feel about this matchup and playing this person? But like you said, you still want to have your, like we said, you don't want someone getting too warmed up, winning 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. So who's your streak breaker? Who's going to come in and turn the tide if you need them to? And in this case, for all we know, it may very well be the captains who are just like, all right, cool, I'm going to go up and fix this. But we've definitely seen that happen in these kind of crew battles before. Yeah, both the captains are incredibly strong. JacobPat recently had a showing at just got second at a tournament.
Yeah, you're right, and I can't think of what it is either. This is bright and early for me. By the way, I'm
I have
married
no
to a nurse.
excuse. I've been up for 2 hours.
I'm an overnight gremlin. I'm actually up like 2.5 hours earlier than I normally am. All right, looks like we're getting started, and looks like Jason versus POTUS. Is that what we're doing here? Yeah. Okay.
Slashback. It was slashback. Thank you.
Slashback. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing. All right, so Jason Wright Stoll gonna take on our good old president here, Joe Biden, representing Chip, and early on air grab right out the gate, safe jump, baits a gold burst, punishes DP. This is gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hurt. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Full
I
combos.
Did. Oh my god, it still did about 50%.
Wow.
Run up, force break, beta blade. Okay. All right, relax. Ooh.
Calls out the teleport. What were we talking about? Like everybody plays everyone in this game. That's definitely and immediately slashback the bandit revolver. Yeah, these two might have played a game or two. They might have.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to. Both these guys enter tournaments quite a bit, so and they're both really strong. They're gonna end up playing against each other at some point.
Yeah. And Jason, kind of a notorious, like, patient soul. Most people expect soul players kind of let it rip, be a little wild here and there. Jason is very content to sit and block for a long time because he always believes that he needs one opening for the most part because he optimizes his combos, makes him hurt, and especially against a character like Chip. Soul gets Sidewinder loops. That's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Did miss the FRC on Gunblade, so Joe able to get control and just, again, like we said, Jason just chilling, taking a knockdown. No reason to play Overdrive. Saw a missed slashback there from POTUS. Nice sweep. Teleport. That does get out of the corner. A lot of respect being shown by both these players. They're kind of keeping their block strings tight. Okay. Gamma Blade catches Jason sleeping. Oh, drops the combo, though. That could have hurt. Oh. This is probably going to do it. There's no burst. Yep, force break. That should be enough. And Jason Wright takes game one.
I just got to make sure on team. All right, we're getting it up into... Okay, we're getting it up in seconds. So Jason Wright won that for JacobPat.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what buttons I'm pressing on OBS here.
Streaming is hard.
There's 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. Melon did all the hard work. He asked me very simply, "Hey, just stream this." I'm like, bro, that's like the least I could do. So
right. Yeah. Shout outs to the Overdrive Online team. The Melon and all of them organize these really cool events, and that's what's awesome about stuff like this, right? We get to do these unique style battles in games like this that you just don't. I wish we would see more of these exhibitions from other games.
Oh,
because they're super fun. Granted, like, a legacy game like +R lends itself a little better because games are fast. These kind of crew battles can be a little bit more difficult to set up in games that you can't blitz through a round in 30 seconds because if games are taking 5, 6, 8 minutes a piece, sometimes people don't want to sign up for 8 players have to lose 2 lives. But with +R, that's if you're not careful, your team is going to run out of players very quickly.
Yeah. The first thing I thought when we got rollback was, and we can do some like really cool like stuff like pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And that made me really happy because I think that like you were saying before, we're all kind of like older. There's some new cats. Don't get me wrong. But there's like nothing in between. There's just new cats, and there's people who've been playing this for a really long time.
Right.
And it means that a lot of us have like responsibilities and stuff to do, but every now and then we can all get together and do stuff, which is pretty cool. No worries. If you type into chat teams like this, Melon's actually put the team up into a chat or into a thing. So into a document, so it's easy. Yeah. And sorry I don't have like, you know, names attached to all of the lives on the side, but I thought the icons looked really cool, and Melon did also make all of this. I didn't make jack shit, by the way. I slapped everything on there like a kid with glue. Like, it's just all there because, you know, someone already cut it out for me. So, yeah, give all the thanks to Melon.
Yeah, just keep it simple. I mean, you know, simpler game for a simpler time. We might as well keep the overlays simple too, right?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. You know, I genuinely forget that the game's 4x3 until I put this layout together, and I was like, oh yeah, we can do cool stuff like this.
Oh yeah, no, when I do stream +R, which hasn't been much lately, I'm super lazy. I'm just like, nope, you're getting the sidebars. I am not recropping this bucko.
Are cool.
They are.
Like in game, the sidebars are cool.
Yeah,
like, I think I really like the little chibi art that all of them have.
Yeah, the chibi art is super adorable. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Tmunny team is going to send up Duck John, so we're going to get Cliff being on Soul, and of course, Cliff has been a character of extreme conversation here in the last year of +R. This character's dumb.
It is very rare we see a character rocket up a tier list like this, but
especially
sure enough,
in a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
Not a common thing.
I'm gonna go for Oki on this one. Nice block into the overhead.
Yep.
Usually don't expect it that early from Cliff players, but we're gonna use it while the stun's still low.
Yeah, no. Duck John is, you know, that last match we talked about, these players being very patient and respectful. Yeah, no, Duck John's not going to play that game. Duck John is here to swing the butter knife and to do some gimmicky stuff, try and catch you sleeping. And if he has meter, he's going to apply pressure as long as he can get away with it. Yep, the forward punch, got to be really careful. Forward punch has a gigantic stun modifier on it. Wow, that connected.
that was all at the very, very tip. That was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cliff has a shockingly bigger hitbox than you would think for comboing, so.
Thank God.
Right? Nice DP. Getting out the pressure. Yep, Gunflame.
Oh!
Wow, doesn't. Not baiting the burst, though, so Duck John's still alive. All right, Nape saddles over to the other side. Dodge. A little bit of risky dodge there.
Playing with fire now.
Yep.
He does have that meter, though. Oy.
Just goes up and gets him with the air throw. The Guilty Gear Classic. Oh, I need to chip someone out. What if I just grab them instead? There's a trade. That was a forward punch. Jason's got to be careful now. He is not that far. One more counter hit, his stun is going to be in bad news.
Oy. Ooh, hard read on that.
Yeah,
speed.
hard. That's some true burst thirst right there from Duck John.
Really looking to kill him. He's trying to keep that stun up for sure, though.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who have not kept up, Cliff's forward punch has a ×4 stun modifier on it. And even on the lowest of rolls, because stun is not completely consistent with how it calculates, it basically does twice as much as counter hit Faust Barbell, and that's a lot of stun.
Anything you think is like slow and like looks like it hit hard, it probably does 4 times stun.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a lot of things with Cliff.
Yeah, it really is.
It is that many things. Ooh.
There's, wow, the hero burst. Jason says, I will bring it back, except no.
Oh, that is an empty burst, too. That whiffed.
Yeah, that.
Versus Cliff, which means if you get like 3 touch, there's a chance you're just donezo.
Yeah.
You could lose just from that gold burst that he has now.
Yeah, facts. So
scary.
Wow.
Oh,
there was a showdown right there. Jason said draw, and then was like, yeah, nice burst. I think I'll take it. I also think I'll grip this old man and send him to the retirement home. So, empty burst or no, no problem for Jason Riot. So takes the first 2 for Team JacobPat out to an early lead here.
Yeah, that's tell you how much of a scary burst that is. Cliff, if you don't know, can win the game with gold burst.
Yes.
So because he has remove OTG, when you gold burst somebody and they hit the floor, he can combo you afterwards into his stun, and that is GG. She just gets instant.
Yep,
very, very scary thing.
Yeah, one of the few characters in the game that can reliably combo into their instant kill on a character not named ABA.
Yeah. So when you are considering your burst options versus Cliff, it's a really big deal because he's a character that doesn't hit you often. He hits you hard.
Yep. Like
6 or 7 times and then you die.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, does also factor in how you get your burst back. Because if you stay at lower lives for longer, you get more of your back.
Yes.
If your character has to hit you 30,000 times during the last end of your burst or to kill you, then you usually end up getting more burst back than other characters who chunk you at a time.
Yeah, no. Cliff has been, we've seen a ton of optimization with this character to the point now where it's not just that Cliff does crazy damage, he does, but it's that he does crazy damage and the top players have found ways to consistently stun the vast majority of the cast off those hits. And that is really scary in a game like +R because 2 touching people is kind of the magic number. You get your first big chunk of damage, and then they're sitting with, somewhere between 30 to 50% of their life bar. But if they're stunned, you're going to be able to do your best starter, and Cliff has no problem getting past Guts if it's only just kicking in at that 50% range. It doesn't matter what the character is. Like, you're going to die.
A lot of the time, this character, it feels like, is sort of fishing for that one thing that activates what the character wants to do. And what's really cool about Cliff, in my opinion, is that could be a bunch of things.
Yes.
That could be damage, that could be meter, that could be stun. And it's sort of like, what am I getting out of this that sort of activates? I get an anti-air 6P counter hit? All right, I'm playing for stun. Like,
yes.
Do I have a lot of meter? Okay, well, I'm just looking for like a high-low. I'm looking for a knockdown to high-low throw and try to chunk you that way. It's like, it's really cool to think that, like, because players have optimized the game plan so well that it has like all of these like different avenues to approach, but it makes for a top-tier character. It makes for a really strong character for tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's you mentioned high-low throw. Like, usually you think, like, people joke about characters who have oppressive pressure and mix up. It's just like, oh, well, just take the throw. No, you don't take the throw against Cliff, because guess what? He'll stun you off that too.
Because damage scales, but not stun.
Yep, sure don't. Sure don't. And you know what? Damage doesn't scale much either when your guard bar is flashing, which this character is very good at doing. And then their combo goes into, things where you can actually make fully charged forward heavy combo off stuff and a throw combo. And it's like, what happened? What happened to +R? It just became more +R.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to think that there's a character in Amelia, an absolute dominating threat off throw where those scale combos.
Yeah, usually, like, when the character, obviously you have Potemkin, like, command grab character, P-Buster is a very scary throw for a lot of reasons. But typically in Guilty Gear, you think of characters that have scary throws because it lets them loop into their win condition. Typically Oki heavy characters, Milia, Dizzy, those kind of things. You don't like taking throws from those characters because it puts you in a bad situation. Cliff is just like, no, you won't be in a bad situation. You'll just be 6 feet in the ground.
I'm really thinking about, like, the amount of characters that have scary throw, like, it isn't a tremendous amount.
Yeah. I mean, here's another one on screen right now. Good old Eddie has a very good command grab, and a lot of players actually liken Eddie to being a grappler because of his ability to force you to block Eddie pressure into Damned Fang.
Yeah,
right now Sunny off to a good start.
Critical to his whoa! All right, that's pretty sick. Drop the end bit, but that was a nice extension.
Yeah. Probably a little bit tough to hit the Kirei Sidewinder combos on Eddie. He does have kind of a finicky air hitbox. Just gonna do the regular stuff. You see again, drop, like, You don't see Jason drop sideway combos very often, so when that happens twice in a round, that's a reminder that character-specific things are still very real in a league like this. Unblockable, trying to end it? Oh, wow! Oh, but no punish! Oh, no, Sonny! Oh, right through the fingers.
Oh, that was, I loved the gold burst idea. I thought it was actually correct at the moment, and it just didn't work out, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a massive drop because you just went from being up one round with an empty burst bar on Jason's side to now you're dead? Zato doesn't have guts. Okay, not quite. And yeah, the overhead, yep. Jump heavy. What if I had a safe jump normal that hits twice and I can also just, you know, go into jump punch for an extra delayed overhead before I land?
0 recovery.
Truly.
I don't mean that as hyperbole.
Yeah.
0,
no.
as in 0 is the number in which recovery amount of range.
Yeah. Go to the wiki. Go to the wiki. You'll see it. It's there. So yeah, man, we talked about how +R can be a fast game. I mean, literally a dropped round-winning punish, and then we couldn't even like extrapolate on it before Jason's like, "All right, 3-0 us. Thank you very much."
Yeah. Papavetti already being a character that kind of needs to set a couple things in order to get what he wants.
Yeah.
He is on top. He is one of the lowest effective health.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's, you know, we know the characters that have poor defense modifiers in this game. Zato's actually isn't that bad. It's pretty close to average, but not having guts in Guilty Gear is a big, big deal because those combos that scale really hard when you start getting down to the last third of your life bar for some characters, Eddie's just taking almost full damage on those.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place to be in a game where almost everyone has optimized their damage to 3-touch you, you know, unless you play Kai, I guess.
Size from X Kai man.
Right. But speaking of characters that you play now, we're going to have Narfadorf coming up playing Faust.
This is one of those matchups where if you're not prepared, you just die because you have the biggest combos in the world on this character.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have every single tool and the just the ability not to do anything in this matchup if you don't want to. So you just have to be solid. It's a solid matchup where you have to stay solid the entire time.
Yeah, Faust has traditionally always been able to fight Soul in just about every game because his innate game plan kind of cancels out what Soul wants to do a lot of the time. And we're seeing a lot of burst whip, but we're not seeing a lot of burst punishes for whatever today.
I know.
Yep. There's the reactionary DP gets the clash, but we got 2 hits on that. Also, another character with no guts, Faust.
Yep.
Okay, anti-air 2K, nice. Goes for the knockdown. Just wanted to throw an item there. I do like the idea from Narfadorf there. Like, you're playing Faust, you're not trying to get up and give Soul the schmicks on his wake up with Faust. Like, you're just content to try and stand back and throw items, and it can be a very effective strategy. You can zone Soul out, but the problem is that as Faust, you're not exactly laying down the damage with that approach to the matchup. Unless this happens. Sometimes items like, oh, you need damage? I'll solve that problem.
Nope.
That's 3 bombs in a row, by the way.
That's it. No more bombs for you.
Yep, you're out.
I got the counter hit combo off the DP.
Oh boy, it's gonna sting. Yep, the knockdown, safe jump. Nice backdash there to get out of the safe jump setup. Went in trying to get out of the corner. DP for the trouble. All right. Yep. Grips the dust. Yep. You were saying about large hitboxes?
Yeah, I tried to keep it burst safe at the end, but it actually kind of messed up the combo a little bit.
Yeah.
Door.
Oh, hey! Okay. Vinny Potemkin holding it down. Oh. Ryan Stomp takes it. Shoutouts to the biggest jackpot item in the game, trying to go forth and hold down the neutral there for Faust, but Jason was unimpressed. And
I don't know if I've shared this with other people. I've definitely shared this with. The reason why I actually started is Arcade. Well, not Super Arcade. We were just messing around with, just having fun, right? It was like a Rebel Up is a decade ago. And we were just messing around, you know, tournaments over, just playing characters and stuff like that. And I just ended up getting onto Faust, playing random. And I did an item super, and I got 3 mini pots in my item super. And it went kunk, 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 and it immediately flashed his life bar. And I did, I did 6H Pogo, 6H Pogo, and I won. And I was like, I am the best player ever, and now I'm a Faust main.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'll convert you to a character in a heartbeat. You literally walked into a casino and just ripped on a slot machine, won the jackpot, and then the casino's like, cool, we have him for life now.
Yeah, that sort of I love +R. I love Guilty Gear because there is literally nothing on the planet that like that. And that's why we play Faust.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, you know, people who have a lot of experience against Faust, like, they will adjust their play style because you have to. Faust demands you adjust your play style when you're playing him because you have to adapt to items. But there's a universal sense of fear when Mini Pot is on the screen. You will see players who don't scramble running to the other side of the screen or just trying to get away because you're like, nope, don't want it. Don't want to deal with it. All right, so we're going to have Naj trying to stop Jason Riot's streak here. Naj, of course, infamous for hyper-optimized Testament combos and liking a little button called Warrant.
Warrant, enjoy your Faust. Or Naj, sorry. Warrant, enjoy your Naj.
Wow. Called out the Badlands into a full punish with Stand Heavy. All right. The one thing Naj doesn't get to rely on as much with Warrant in this matchup is that Soul has a command grab, and Warrant will not stop that. Nice block on the overhead. Wow, smart dash. Yeah, really smart to not let the EXE beast pressure get going.
Yeah, that's got to be like a Soul thing that you know because Soul's run speed's pretty.
Yes, tried to combo to Master of Puppets, and it drops, and that's going to be the round. Can't drop things against Jason. He's not going to give you second chances. All right, so we have... That's cool. You put a bunch of nets and trees up there. What if I just ran up and DP'd all of them at once? All right, cross under. Dash, yep. Gunflame pressure, trying to hold in the corner.
Jason's making it really difficult to set up. Typically speaking, you kind of want something in front of you when you're playing Testament, and it's always getting cleared before he gets to do the next step afterward.
Yeah. Yeah, Testament, you know, has fast buttons, or not fast buttons, but good buttons, but what they aren't is terribly fast. So without the nets and trees to protect them if they're trying to swing in neutral, we were going to see warrants sooner or later. I was going to be upset if we went 2 whole rounds without attempted warrants.
Not just wrong. I mean, warrants plus on whiff, but unfortunately caught the recovery on the end. So,
yep, just chilling, just big chilling. It's like, oh, you want me to swing at you? What if I was just out of range? It's fine. Yeah. Jason Arnie with 5 lives in hand at this point, so on the downside, Tmunny is yet to get on the board. On the upside, only 3 more before Jason does have to get off the set for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, there's things to think about, right? If you really do think that Jason's like kind of too much to overcome right now, you could just throw people.
Right.
We'll see. You throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. If something sticks, cool. If it doesn't, you know, what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't say Team Tmunny has a character that is particularly this character makes life difficult for Soul. Like, Soul's one of those characters where he doesn't really dominate any matchups in this game, but he also doesn't really get blown out in anything. There's just a lot of matchups where it's like, oh, it's hard to get in. And when it's hard to get in, Soul can't really run his game all that well. But if he gets there, you know, he's gonna do soul things, and you have to respect the pressure, you have to respect the options, and if you get too complacent, well, then you get wild thrown, and your guard bar is probably flashing, and you have a sad.
Yeah.
So looks like we're gonna throw microwave up next. So Soul Potemkin.
I could see it. I could see it. I typically think that it's kind of annoying for Potemkin, but what isn't at this point?
Right. And like in the past, you will hear a lot of Soul players say they don't really care for this matchup, right? Because while they're learning, it can be really annoying because a lot of the things you do with frame traps don't work that well because, well, 3-frame command grabs that reach a bajillion years away. Wow,
whoa! Hammerfall through it.
Calling out Jason's tendency to bandit revolver and pressure there. So microwave with a nice life lead, but he's gonna have to fade some pressure here.
Oh
my wow,
God.
Just the jump S, the hero burst again. All right, microwave will take those trades. Yep, anti-air.
Yeah, another issue with this matchup is that 5K being 3 frames and a great anti-air just makes it really difficult for Potemkin to do the little things that he gets to do on a lot of other characters.
Yep. Oh, that's not burst safe. What? Really? Yeah, Potemkin, big body. Oh. Wow, nice recognition on the clash, though, to not get faded out. Yep, the late RC.
Yeah, so
one of Potemkin's better uses of meter in this game is the, am I going to FRC Hammerfall? Am I going to do a really late Roman cancel? What's the play?
Yeah, so, Hammerfall is just like super good in this game because of like FRC points. Just
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much a guess. Right now, Microwave is on the verge of kicking Jason off the set. Ugh, Bandit Bringer, though. All right. Yep. The difference is Potemkin can take these, right? Yes. Potemkin doesn't get too touched, even by the ridiculous Sidewinder combos. So Mike's going to have a little bit of room to wiggle out of this here. Got to fade this pressure, though. All right, Jason catches. Yep, able to knock down. Potemkin big body. Wow. Jump into the delayed air dash. There's a burst on deck. Okay. Able to finish it. Wow, yes! The whip into the grab.
Yes! My favorite mix-up.
Mm-hmm.
False positive mix-ups are always my favorite because your brain actually has more difficulty recognizing something doesn't exist rather than that something exists. So doing stuff and recognizing that you're not in block stun is way harder than recognizing that you're in block stun.
Yep. Well, and what kind of players do false positive mix-ups work the best on? Patient ones. Because oftentimes patient players are confident in their ability to react and then make a decision when they're forced on the back foot. So I actually found this out when I would play like Kinji a lot, right? Yeah. Because he super patient player, super smart, very good at just reacting to what you do and then answering the situation, especially with a character like Zappa who has, a ridiculous backdash as a defensive option. But the one thing I found I could kind of regularly open Kinji up with would be Taunt Fate from Anji, because it's a false positive mix-up. You see Anji lift the fan up, you think, oh, he's doing the overhead, and all of a sudden you get hit with a low because, respect is cancelable in plus R. So it's exactly the kind of player and situation where that will work. If you try to false positive someone who is going to swang on their wake up, you're not going to have success most of the time.
Right.
Because that's what you sacrifice, right? You're not typically with a false positive mix-up, especially one that, you're doing a command grab on their wake up. You don't get to bait things. You're just hoping that they sit there long enough to fall for the okie doke.
Yeah, it's especially strong with pretty much any character that has a command grab because it is strong against the characters who will sit down. I definitely learned to do that with Faust from pot players. And any character that has a command grab will. Yeah, Soul can do it too. Absolutely. I've definitely seen Souls do 2S whiff into command throw.
Yeah.
It works totally. As we set up the next game here, we got Booba versus Microwave. Booba getting a phenomenal showing at Frosty Faustings, which was absolutely one back turn at and plus R.
Sure was. I was there. My old man ass got tired. Real tired. Yeah, there we go. False positive again. We talked it up too much. Wow,
Oy.
just going in.
Oi!
Everybody's getting grip today. All right, good jump out. All right, so Booba's got a little bit of breathing room, and finally we have a summon on deck. Nope, never mind, I lied. Nice use of stand kick, though. Stand kick does, in fact, put Zappa off the ground, so slide head does not work that way. And honestly, Ghost, probably the best thing Zappa can ask for in this matchup. Unless you just punch them.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. The recognition that it's like, oh, he's blowing through Hammerfall with all of those like little ghost things. What if I had 10 hits of armor instead of just one?
Right. Literally, Potemkin literally said, "I ain't afraid, no ghosts," and duffed it. Just, I don't care, man. Unimpressed. All right, wake up super Booba, catches Potemkin. Yeah! Do it again. No, not this time. Calls out the false positive. Mistimed it. All right. We're just... Nope.
Not the right idea.
That's a dangerous burst against Rao, too. Wow. Just... Did everybody forget how to stop Hammerfall?
To be fair.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy to stop, but man, it is getting work done.
We talked about this. There are players at like Microwave's level in terms of like plus R, bot play, are few and far between. Like we feel like that like there's more just like loosey-goosey Potemkin players than are people who are like willing to like structurally put their game plan together. I mean, oh, got hit by the curse at the very end. So unfortunate. So late, in fact, that Boo Boo was actually the one with Oki afterwards.
Right. Wow, just went under him. I mean, that is the thing. If you're pot and you're going to poke in this matchup, you almost have to default to your low pokes because Zappa just low profiles literally everything. Nice intercept on the jump punch. I like the jump block on jump D, but that's a good hit. Next summon. Oh, I was going to say it's going to be Rao, but the sword came out. Now Rao's out. Ooh, but gets hit immediately. That's...
Oh!
Wow, was not blocking.
Jump cross up Gigantor? Really?
Mm.
That was sick. That was sick. That was sick. I didn't expect that either. I might have gotten hit after seeing that there was no cross up. I might have tried to press a button too, so...
Yeah, that's one of those where you're like, what happened? How did we get here? Where am I?
Damn. Top player that brings it back for the team. Could you believe it?
Yeah, things I did not expect today.
Just wait for Mike to do. Oh, I mean, that's like such a, you talk about pop players. Saying wait for them to do Hammerfall isn't a...
Right. It's one of those things you have to learn if you have checks for Hammerfall, right? And not every character has easy checks for it. It is not common. But if you have one, you want to utilize it, because if you can't stop Hammerfall, you are giving Potemkin license to be a jackass to you.
Just to speak of jackasses, here's Faust right here. It wasn't, unfortunately, it didn't get the combo off the dumbbell.
No.
And is now in the worst position.
Nice jump out from the Gigantor, but still stuck in the corner. Gets gripped. Jump heavy. Good answer for... Wow. Everybody...
No! I had a button out.
Yep. I mean, this is the other thing. Like, is there a gap? You should probably assume that P-Buster might be being buffered. That's just the modern Potemkin meta. Like I said... Got him in block stun, doesn't matter. Got him in hit stun, doesn't matter.
All right, Mike's kind of reading kind of hard right now, honestly. Oi, oi.
Yep. Down.
Mike's kind of in what I like to call grappler flow, which is just
Yep.
everything is right, and it's gonna be so rewarding, baby. Woo! Modern pop bet. Yeah, you bust her all the time. Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
If you don't bust her all the time, I feel like I can do whatever I want to you.
Yep.
Make me feel like a 3-frame grap is too little.
And oftentimes it is because instant block exists.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you're right. First to one changes tier list for sure. Absolutely. Especially in a game like this.
All right, so we're gonna have Shadow Fox go up. Anytime I've talked to Haas players, they tell me they don't like this matchup. And I totally understand why, because Order Soul kind of thrives on frame traps and being up in your grill, and if the person across from you is just gonna churn the butter into P-Buster, regardless of the situation, that's hard to deal with as Haas. Like, you really have to restructure your pressure, restructure your offense if you want to punish. Huh, that's an interaction I just saw. Just hammer fall further away from Gunblaze. Do it again.
Yeah, why not?
The universal Haas truth, Gunblaze. All right, we actually blocked Hammerfall. I see progress. Yeah, got to get that level back up. You don't want to be doing level 1 specials against bot. That's not a fun place to be.
Ooh.
Wow, the baits.
Yeah. Right into my loving arms. Gets
Yep.
Still got a DP though. Gigantor.
Yeah. Yep.
Bum, bum.
And I take it. Yep.
Yeah, it's really difficult for Haas to actually find levels in this matchup because of side head. So normally characters like this, you're like, oh, I'm just going to stand full screen and get levels. But you kind of actually have to stand close and get levels off specials, which is kind of not what you want.
Yeah, because you can't slide head, slide head isn't absurdly fast, but wow, just going to cancel Junge Gauntlet right into the grip.
All right, oh my, what are these pop busters? Oi! Caught the backdash after the FRC. Gonna go for it.
Slide. Oh. And just so I was about to say, like, Haas cannot break out of charge stance quickly. This isn't Xrd. There's no YRC to get away with that. So if you commit, it's going to be a free slide head in almost every situation. If pop players are looking for it.
Yeah.
And gets caught yet again.
Yeah, Shadow Fox was actually able to find a couple of moments where Mike was in the air and he was like, okay, I have time to charge. And I think maybe he expected it again and tried to go for a charge. Or maybe, and I actually thought that this was a possibility for Shadow Fox, had 100 meter and tried to get to level 3 so he can go in IK.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's a thing to consider with grappler players as well. Is they all got a different vibe. Good ones.
Mm-hmm.
They all play like at a different pattern, and yeah, there's things to expect for sure. But the general notion of what grappler archetypes are is that they have a bunch of tools. Usually, good designed, well designed grappler characters usually have tools that are designed to beat other tools. Yes. And so when to use them and how to use them usually depends on how the player plays. And I think that that's why grappler players flock to the archetype, because it feels like that's the expression that they want.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, apparently the captain is tired of this and is going to go do it his damn self. So JacobPat up on the set. But the problem is now you have a grappler player who's warmed up.
Yeah.
And that makes for a lot more difficult time. And yeah, already, like, just if Testament has time to set things up, then yes, they can play their game. It's a very disgusting game in Plus R. But if they can't set webs and trees, life gets a lot harder.
You can see JacobPat actually setting a really high tree or a net, and just making it really difficult for Microwave to approach from the air, which is the fastest way he approaches without hammerfall breaks. He does not really want to walk at you. So,
no. And hammerfall breaking against Testament setup is not easy to do. But what if you just hit him with it instead? All right, that's fine.
Just go forward.
Yep. Hey. Unblockable. Yep. Have to wake up, backdash that, and hey, guess what? There's not in Plus R, a buffer. All right, full combos off the throw. We have those. Yep. Take some
Body
knockdowns.
combos. Whoa! Sick flick.
Yeah. One of those things you have to do against Pot, right? Like, if you're going to do projectile Loki, it has to hit meaty so that they don't have time to reversal flick. It's not a true reversal, but if you are not getting your projectile out, you know, right off the bat, there's going to be a gap there.
Ate the guy Gigantor meter, so that's a pretty big win for JacobPat. He doesn't have to worry about some defensive options for a little bit.
All right. Gonna get a confirm here. We don't care if it's Blackbeat. We just want those knockdowns. Master of Puppets. Now the win con is out.
Yeah, this is nigh impossible.
Yes. This is This becomes impossible for high mobility characters. Let alone someone like Potent. Yep, Force Break Skull. Just completely control the space. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
more or less checkmate.
This is actually something I recognize that Kesuke does quite a bit. It's just that against big body characters like Justice, Faust, Potemkin, any character that usually occupies a lot of space in the air, Force Break Skull is his favorite friend. Just
absolutely.
Wins the game for him.
Wow, tried for the hardest of hard reads. Either that or was just buffering P-Buster and got a TK version on accident. Your guess is as good as mine. Yep. One hit Badlands, Master of Puppets, and yeah, same win con again. And now life is real bad for the Potemkin. Yep. You're poisoned, the best guts crush in the game. Wow, the burst just in time.
Nope.
All right, we're not. Yep. Hey, here it starts. Jumps out though. Yep. Went to the well one too many times. JacobPat stops the bleeding.
Very clean.
Yep.
I forgot if I mentioned it because I was trying to remember what tournament it was. Didn't remember. It was Slashback, which did have a pretty knowing of players. JacobPat got second. Yeah.
Yeah. Had some very stacked plus R brackets already this year.
Yeah. It's been really good. That's what I really want. I just want that sort of like, honestly, if we got something in the vein, not even similar to, but in the vein of like Operation Cup each and every year. We just showed up once a year and we all played in a tournament together and we all like hung out and then we said, all right, cool, do this again next year. I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, agreed.
But we get way more than that, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's awesome about these little events like this. We get to have little tiny Cooperation Cup-esque things like whenever we want because it's so easy to set up with this online system.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I should say, in terms of the situation, JacobPat is on the board now. You know, and considering that he is one of the best players in the States for and playing an extreme that thinking about getting this life down probably a pretty big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Got 2 life lead to work with right now. You have, you know, Jason started this with a 5-game streak. You have that in the back pocket. If you're JacobPat right now, you're probably feeling pretty good about where you stand.
Yeah, I would think so.
So and now the other thing is, okay, this win streak is done for Team Tmunny. Now you have a hard question, which is who do you go throw against one of the top Testament players, if not the top Testament player in America? There's not exactly anyone that you look at and go, yes, the Testament answer. Go get him.
Not really. And especially, you know, speaking of flow, it looked like JacobPat was kind of hitting that flow as we go along, and the Testament flow of stuff into Master of Puppets into you better not let me hit you with a high-low throw mix-up. Or, sorry, left-right throw mix-up.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
It's rough. It's not blocking against Testament is not fun.
Not in the slightest. Get up this. Got
X Phantom coming up. So, same kind of song and dance, right? If Haas can get there, Haas can kind of party. Especially if you can corner Testament, because Haas's throw game becomes very terrifying in the corner because he gets combo off it. And that can be a way to answer, one of Testament's best defensive options in Warren. But right now, not even getting the chance to start offense, let alone, ooh, wow, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, great confirm. Back into the corner after losing 40%.
Yep, and Guts Crush. Yep, because everything combos into that. Because why wouldn't it? That was, oof. That feels bad. You wait your turn, you're blocking, and then you get opened up and to the max and first. That was gross. Nasty cross up. All right. No punish on the block Badlands though. That's the thing, right? Like, even the stuff for Testament is punishable. This character is awkward to punish sometimes because of the way those moves come in. Right? JacobPat content to just be like, what if I just held down the neutral with this scythe?
Yeah, literally.
Wow, nice burst bait.
Pressing buttons at every possible opportunity and making sure that Haas literally doesn't even get to charge, let alone do a special. Oh, we have a chance though. Character can run away with it and gets just hit with a raw overhead.
Yep. Yeah, it's so... Again, Testament doesn't have the fastest normals, but so many Gatlings and so many ways to go into overheads, strike throw. And you have to sit and watch because you don't want to sit there and then realize like, oh no, I was too patient. Now there's the XE Beast on me. So...
X Phantom running this back?
I guess so. I guess X Phantom said, let me use life too. I'm just going now. Feels like he saw something. 2S. Not a button you'd think would be an anti-air, but boy, it do it. Right, only the one hit on Master of Puppet, though, so one less super tree or web to work with. But right now, JacobPat just holding the corner, using meter. Still my corner, still my corner. That Gargage is flashing, bucko. All right. Wow, good patience. Waited it all the way out. All right. I see you. Just gonna... That Haas corner pressure. Wow, does force the burst. All right. Yeah. X Phantom's patience has at the very least gotten the burst, and now JacobPat does not have a get out of jail option. Just holding it down with ending pressure. Not going to be enough to kill off this, but it's going to be... Oh, wait for the re-grab. Goes up with jump kick, not quite enough. The delay net and catches it.
5P answer.
Really good patience. I mean, X Phantom knew that was coming, right? Like, it's like, I'm not going to commit to a heavy anti-air. He's going to try and delay me out by planning a net. X Phantom said, I want my run back, and I think we're seeing why.
Yeah, rarely does this ever work out, I feel like.
Right?
Here we are. Ooh, Fafnir wasn't able to get the full combo. Hits the overhead, earns the burst.
That's going to be it.
And stun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was either going to be the stun or it was going to be enough to kill. You're right. Usually those plays do not work out. We've all been there, right? Like, you get up, you don't really get to play the game, and you're like, no, give one more. Let me run this back.
Yeah,
and then if you're me and you do that, if you do that and you're me, you get washed.
No, most of us do. Because when you, especially the speed in which that got hit, I did not feel like there was a talk. I actually went into the Discord. I was like, did they talk about this? There is so little spoken about what happened. There's a chance that X Phantom said, "No, I got this," and then just mashed it again. And that's it.
I'm willing to bet that's exactly what happened.
And the salt rum bag almost never worked.
Yeah. So we're gonna have Quash come up to try and counter X Phantom's run back. If I recall, this is another matchup that Haas players do not like.
It is a matchup in which the character actually gets to match your damage, which is unfortunate for Haas most of the time.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Haas has to run in with his face.
Yes.
So, and this is
because both these characters have to build up the damage. Like Johnny needs, a level, and Haas also needs levels. The difference is it's a lot easier to get level 2 coin than it is to get level 2 and 3 charge.
Yeah.
But once you have it, the delayed overhead with Nsinga. X-Phantom showing such good patience, even when they're locked down in the corner.
Yeah, the Bulldog Rush just going straight at Quash, not letting him breathe. Oof.
That's the scariest type of Haas to face, right? Like, a foaming at the mouth Haas, sooner or later they overextend and you're like, okay, cool, I can do my thing now. A Haas that knows when to pump the brakes and pick their spots, and then as soon as they get you, go full Bulldog mode, that is when it's really scary. That reminds me of, like, old Kazunoko Haas, where it's just like, all right, he's gonna party and I'll eventually get my turn. No, you might not.
Yeah, literally.
You might get your turn, but what are you gonna get out of it?
Oh, wasn't able to combo off that, but Quash does have the meter. This kind of hurts. All right, burst right before the meter spent.
Nice block on the Nsinga, though.
Yeah.
Blocks it again.
That's 3 in a row, bro.
We are not having overheads in this house today.
You better do some normals.
Right? Charge. Did not bait the wake-up super, though. Not quite enough. Where's the mix?
Yeah.
Anti-love, Yup.
Love it. I love it.
Yep. You have to recognize that, right? When your opponent is playing exceedingly patient, you have to find ways to exploit that. It's a rare commodity when you get someone who's giving you respect when they're on the defensive, and if you don't exploit that, then, you're just letting them eventually get out for free. Not able to get the conversion. Missed the air dash there.
Point situation is really bad for Quash, actually.
Yeah, no, he is. Wow, is this DC playing? What's going on here? We are out of coins.
Yeah, and
They're
that's
gone.
80% health, or now 75, 60, dwindling really quick.
Yeah, and now there are none. This is not Xer. Johnny can't just make more coins by hitting you with a super.
Ooh, I like the combo.
Yeah, fancy. Looking for a burst or a tech there. Didn't get it. Yep. Level 2 Savage Fang. Such a good super for interrupting. 0 after the flash. Ooh, the gold burst. All right. No coins, but that's going to be it. Yeah, you called it. The not having coin, like, when your opponent still has 70% left, that's not a good place to be as Johnny. Because not only can you not build up your levels for your actual combos, coin is a very important part of Johnny's pressure to get people to not try and mash or flinch out of your pressure. Because we saw every time, an attempt to end pressure with TK and Nsinga was not going over very well.
Yeah, and then once you started losing all the interactions, TK and
Oh, are
Nsinga,
we are we just run back central now? Is this where we're living?
I was gonna say once you get back into once you start losing that Nsinga opening, like those coins are your next best opening.
Absolutely,
and
100%.
But they're also your damage, so you kind of don't want to use them both ways. Otherwise, yeah, you have a very limited resource.
Yeah, it's the one vice to virtue about both these characters having to build up, right? Like, Johnny's resource is finite, where Haas's is, as long as you got room to charge or hit specials, you can get more. Haas can always buy back in. Johnny's got to go find a pay loan somewhere, and everything's closed because it's Sunday. Knock that. X-Phantom says, no, you're not. Only I get to do run-backs around here, sir. You're not stealing my thunder. And again, almost. Although, that guard bar, okay, that's a trade you'll take as X-Phantom. Though this is going to stink. Ooh, that's a big drop. That's a big drop. That feels bad.
Yeah, because that was it. You spent the Mistfinder.
Yeah. And that guard bar was not nearly done being driven down either. It was still pretty fresh. So, yeah, that's a rough drop for Quash. And now X-Phantom's like,
nice.
What if I just take both lives?
He might. This is some Haas momentum if I've ever seen it.
Wow, what a counter poke.
Footsies?
Are we-
Footsies?
And we're just... the two characters with cancels, just like miss cancel, action cancel. Which one you want? Who's got the better miss fighter?
Expected the burst there, so no full combo afterwards, but
Nice interrupt on the forward kick. Okay, tech buttons. Sometimes you tech buttons and you get hooked up.
maybe he tried to go for some sort of like tech trap thing, but just
Yeah,
didn't
either
work
that or
out.
maybe didn't expect the cross under. Hard to say, but X Phantom.
Weirdly enough, at that point, I felt like Quash actually had points to start like, maybe just do the full combo and a knockdown there,
Right,
and just like,
right.
and just, it's gonna be expensive, but it'll be worth it because they
Right.
don't have the, I don't know.
Yeah, that was maybe your opportunity to spend money, make money.
Yeah, Johnny's a really cool character in this game because it does feel like, as opposed to like Ixard, it does feel like in this game his mechanic kind of skirts the line of like, how do I say? You kind of have to be frugal a little bit with your like, you can't just use your like massively plus projectile all the time like you can do in Ixard, because it doesn't matter, you hit them twice and they lose. Like,
Yes.
you have to hit them probably 3-4 times, because you have to hit them once to get the charge and then 2 to actually open them up for the damage.
Yeah, Johnny by his nature is a minimum, usually a 3-touch character, because that first touch is just not going to do big damage. Unless it's a very odd situation where you crank their guard bar from, the jump and then make the most of it. But more often than not, yeah, you're exactly right. But X Phantom on a bit of a run now since that run back. Taking on Booba. Oddly enough, this is not a matchup I get to see very often.
No.
Don't see a lot of Haas Zappa. So some interactions I'm not super familiar with. I would think Gunblaze is at least decent, just because you're not going to low-profile Gunblaze.
Yeah, I could imagine that actually maybe Sword's your worst, like, your nightmare in this matchup.
Yeah, what are you going to do, playing against a hitbox, it's not great.
Like,
Haas does have reversals, so you might have ways to challenge Dog.
Yeah, and you have fast normals too, so if anything happens, you might be able to like snipe Dog really quick and still get stuff afterwards.
Speaking of Dog, though, like, Booba doing a great job of picking when the Dog is active and not. Wow, really? Nice air throw. That's a Zappa classic right there. Did he finish from this? Not quite. Didn't have meter for the FRC. Baits the GP. What's the mix? Swords out. Wow. Not very often that you're going to go up and do a jump punch war against Haas and come out ahead, but somehow.
That's Zappa, babe.
Yep. All right, run grab. We got dust loops.
Almost.
Good. The drop and immediately gripped. And now you got to fade some sword. Yep. This is the problem for Haas, right?
It has to be.
Like, what do I do with against a full screen hitbox that can mix? And this is not a problem unique to Haas. Sword's pretty good.
Yeah. Especially considering this character kind of just wants to run at you with his face, and the scariness of your own Oki comes from the fact that he has an invincible reversal, and he has super fast normals, and he has a throw that's very valuable, and don't get to do any of that because your Oki's being put away from the character. Tough stuff.
Yeah, and super smart from Booba there. As soon as he had sword, he's just like, cool. I am not putting myself at risk. No reason. I'm gonna push you out immediately. That's one of those where, like, even he did open up Phantom almost immediately, but even if you don't, you get exactly what you want, right? Like, they're over there, I'm over here, and there's a sword between us. Have fun.
We'll say though, good shit to Phantom. Pretty much 2/3 of the way to cleaning up the mess that Jason created with Mike the other bit. Maybe probably more like 50-50. I didn't fully count. But between them, for sure, 2 really big runs that have basically put JacobPat's team on level with Tmunny.
Yeah. Hey, again, I want to reiterate, that snap run back thing, that's normally not a winning play. Like, you gotta have some real confidence and be like, nope, I just wasn't. I know what I did wrong, and I know I can correct. It's one thing to see what got you beat, right? Like, a lot of times that's not that hard to figure out. It's like, oh, I got washed. Gee, I wonder what happened. Maybe I got washed. But to immediately go, nope, I got this. Just hang on. I'm not getting off the setup. And then back it up. That's not easy to do. And then took that momentum into what is basically an even game right now between our two teams. So,
like, that was not just Assault run back to a single win. That was Assault run back to maybe not Assault run back. I'm not sure because I mean, just a run back into straight like saving the team here.
Yeah. And we have another run back now. Interesting. Tmunny says, all right, that Haas matchup didn't work. Let's try it again. Going to give a different look. But that's one of the nice things, right? Like, you get a lot of diversity amongst Haas players. Rarely do you have two who have exactly the same tendencies.
I think any character that ends up having really good specials, like characters like Haas, you usually end up seeing quite a bit of diversity from the types of players that they are.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Tmunny does get a grab here. I'd like that. Just takes the knockdown, safe jump, good dead angle. I like that from Booba. Just like, nope. Tmunny went for the hero burst and now is in a rough spot. Good block on the overhead. Yep, far ass. Far ass pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, run under DP.
Far ass is a weird button.
It is a very weird
not
button.
A projectile.
Projectile.
Has a bunch of active frames that are kind of weird.
Becomes a low.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, that is the question that is just plus our Zappa, right? Like, why sums up a great deal of this character.
That just happened right there. Got tripped up by the tail end of Far S. Gets hit by the other overhead. No, not that one, but the other one. Actually, Booba really good at punishing DP.
Not going to try and go up and play the action charge guessing game. Just content to take the punish. But, all right. Tmunny with a lot of momentum there. Does earn Booba's burst, but in the combo, the dog's here. Yep. Catches him on the frame trap, and Booba pretty convincingly there, other than a brief stint in the corner that looked a little scary.
Booba really, really good at... I really like the...
Yes.
Like, I feel like that rather than what we see from a lot of Zappa players, which is kind of like, I kind of just want to force the sandwich. We see Booba really go for like more of a control-based style of like, I'm just going to use skeleton head and up flip and dive and kind of just slowly push you towards where I want you to be. And then afterwards, the corner is as good as a sandwich anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, it's treating dog like you should. You become a puppet character, right? And if you as a puppet character get your opponent to block anything, well, that's kind of your license to take your turn. And your turn can last for a very long time because we even saw when either Booba would confirm off the dog or, start pushing out with a block string, he would just pick a spot to air dash over and try and force the sandwich then because yes, there's a gap there, but it's not a large gap with a puppet character situation like that. So if your opponent isn't on the ball, they're probably not getting out of that situation.
Yeah, it's also another thing to note is that even if you do know how to like, because usually the answer is sort of IB jump back or IB sort of like get out of the way in some way, shape, or form. It's actually quite difficult for a lot of characters as you tap us that time.
Yes.
And so recognizing which inputs you have to do in which direction can be quite difficult.
Yeah. It becomes no cross-up protection in this except for very unique situations like certain things with gun blaze, things like that. But otherwise, you get crossed up in this game, you don't block the right way, you're getting hit. So now we have the POTUS back up on the machine.
Yeah, I like this. Joe Biden has shown himself to be good against Zappa. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, immediate use of the shuriken. This is one of those matchups where it's like Chip needs that extra projectile because, again, you get put in that situation where you're across the screen and swords on top of you. Chip is super mobile, and he has the tools that most characters don't to navigate that. but you still don't want to deal with it anymore. I like this use of super for the knockdown. Had the full meter, might as well. Nice block on the cross-up. All right, jump H, doing work. Booba says, I want the corner. Yep, ghost pressure. Good jump out by Joe Biden. Not quite out of the corner yet. There we go. All right. Knockdown. Empty.
Oh,
All right, find the catches on the look. Yeah, a lot of patience on both sides there. A lot of respect. Nice jump out from the leaf grab, though. And Joe Biden says, nope, out of the corner. Never mind, I'm back. Never mind, I'm out.
Yeah, really
just casual chip things.
Snipe the dog first before we try to approach. But the knockdown from the kunai actually, or shuriken I should say.
All right, jump D. Wow, all right. Ooh, went for a summon. Maybe expecting teleport there. Clipped. Wow, scary burst, but gets away with it.
Has the meter. I could see the reasoning, but it is very scary.
Yeah, very rough spot to be there, but nice patience from Joe. Literally nickel and diming this man. Nice bait. All right, this one's gonna sting a little bit. Not able to get the knockdown out. Didn't quite have enough meter for the FRC on Alpha Blade and pays for it. Oh, buddy.
It's a little bit too far for the 2K for the DP punish.
Yeah.
This is the punish, man. Oh.
Yeah, just sort things.
Buffered block? Oh, you're so good, Joe Biden. You monster. Oh, that was so sick.
Ooh, Uber gets hit by the second part of jump H. Not enough. Dog is sitting right there. Wow, gets it with the jump H. And catches on the teleport.
Okay, so what happened? Joe Biden does Beta Blade, and then it clashes with Sword, I believe, right?
Yep.
And then he blocks afterward.
Yep.
If you don't press anything afterwards, when you clash, it will continue to do the move.
Yes.
So he inputted block afterward.
Yep.
That is so sick.
Yeah, that's super smart. That takes extreme awareness. You I know a big issue I have personally in every version of Guilty Gear, not just +R. I am terrible at recognizing
It's
clashes.
hard.
I am so bad at it. Like
It's
if something clashes, I never remember to hit buttons.
No, I mean, there's a very few exceptions in terms of like understanding where that interaction happens a lot, like across the board, like Pot JD. A lot of things clash with Pot JD because it's got a fantastic hurt box, or hitbox as it's coming down. Usually can expect to clash quite a bit. You should double input a lot of.
Yes, absolutely.
But that, I think you have to know that, and I've said this about Joe Biden before. You have to know that by playing a lot. There's no way on earth you figured that out in training mode. 0% chance. You just play so much and have that interaction happen so often that you're like, oh, this is how I deal with this.
Yep. Or you go into the amazing replay mode where you clashed and then got bodied for it, and then just start testing things like, what input can I have if I see this situation again?
Right. Or yeah, you're right. Like that clashed in a game and he went, oh, does this happen more than once if I do this? And then he just started doing it, and it probably your feedback loop just understood that this is the thing you can do.
All right, so up next, Skeletal's going to come to the
Is this Skeletal's
setup.
first life?
Yes, we have not seen Skeletal yet.
Spooky. Oh, God.
Yeah, right? So, Chip obviously has the mobility to keep ABA in check, but he can't get touched. I mean, this is literally like Chip cannot make a mistake in this matchup. Right now,
Thankfully, Chip's IK is absolutely god-awful. So.
It is abhorrently bad, bucko.
So you can't 3 knockdown to kill, but it doesn't matter because this character is neutral so good that you can just keep Abba on the edge. However, ooh! No, he had the meter!
Wow! He had the meter for it. Chip out? Not quite. Oh, no. Oh, God, that was scary. That was so scary.
Literally looking for just like a JP or
This is run for your life. You are like, please. Oh, no.
I would rather play RE4 than do this. This is far scarier.
No, this is true jump scare. Super, yep, just taking the frame advantage. Oh, forward punch. What we say about Guts earlier?
Yeah.
Like, Chip's Guts literally won him around. Straight up. Because, let me tell you, most characters, when they eat that counter hit from AVA and Goku Moroha mode, you're dead, bucko. Like, I don't care. Alright, the frame trap, yep. Yet, Skeletal just had to let Moroha rip, right? Like, you can't sit around in normal mode as AVA and hope to have success, buddy. Alright? Flashback the burst! Oh, but not the full punish. Alright, that's fine. Goku Moroha, and yeah, sorry about your accident.
It's gonna need one more touch afterwards. You have to worry about Zansei Roga here, so there is stuff to worry about. Yep, there it is.
Oh, he went for... Oh, what was Skeletal trying to punish with? Just, you have the fastest run speed ever. Just wait it out. Oh no, and that's gonna be it? Yep.
Yeah. I am unsure what happened.
Yeah. Might have just flinched. There's... I think, I'm wondering if maybe they were worried about Chip for some reason and then opted to FD, which broke the cross-up protection.
There's a chance.
I just mentioned how most stuff does not have cross-up protection in this game, and then immediately something happens that has cross-up protection. Because it's not a Guilty Gear foray if the commentator doesn't make themselves look stupid.
Absolutely. There's so many mechanics in the... It happens. It happens. Yes. Same thing with stuff like Haas so many times. Ground Viper. That.
Yeah, Gunblaze is probably
Gunblaze,
the most. Yeah, probably the most infamous one that has a form of cross-up protection that you can use. But the Haas player can also, mess with the timing to try and break that in certain ways. But yeah, that's a lesson you learned early on. You don't want to
wake up FD.
You do not wake up FD on Haas if they're just sitting on top of you. That's sad times. You have a... Wow, we still haven't... Neither Skeletal nor Blitz had been on the setup yet? How did that happen?
Blitz hadn't been on the sets?
I don't think so.
Looking at this...
I'm trying to remember.
Blitz still got two... So I guess it's let's just run it down right now while we have 2 seconds. We got Tmunny.
Please do.
Tmunny still has 1 life. Joe Biden still has... I think Joe Biden's...
1. He lost 1 to Jason.
Yeah, 1 down. Naj got 1. Microwave got 1. Sunny got 1. Duck John's got 1, and Neferdorf's got 1. I believe that counts for the 7 mark.
That sounds right. Yep.
Have Blitz coming up.
All right. So, what if you just gave cocaine and speed to 2 just completely coked up rodents and let them fucking run around the screen? Welcome to Chip Milia.
Yeah. This gets a little bit annoying, I think, for Milia, because this is a character that kind of wants less than mobile characters to approach, and this character is not only mobile but also has an invincible reversal that they can use.
Yeah, it's a lot of times people don't think of Milia as a bully character, but she absolutely is. Like, Milia's ability to just kind of dance around in neutral with the threat of hairpin allows her to really... oh, wow, that could have been it. Drop the conversion. And now we're in full scramble mode. Yep. Yeah. I'm just like, when is the nonsense going to happen? Because it's going to come quickly.
Joe Biden's the sickest, man. He literally jumped off the wall 3/4 up on the other side of the screen to snipe him there.
There was 0 chance that Chip versus Milia, where the next hit wins the round for both characters, was not going to turn into nonsense. Absolutely none.
Oh, man. I love matchups like this, where just like the floor is lava. It's just so much fun to watch.
Why does that combo? Jesus Christ.
I mean, Blitz has optimized all these combos.
Blitz has really silly stuff. You're just... Stuff that most time you're just like, oh yeah, that's Milia stuff. It's fine. And then you're just like, how? What? Am I watching an old Reload combo video movie? What is going on? All right, jump out. Start the pressure. Yep. Wow. Teleport, dash up, throw. Yeah. Nice conversion from Joe. Yep, goes up and gets it again.
Oh, let it rock. Take the damage where you can. Ooh, jumps away from the throw.
Went for the classic JD. All right. And that's
he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say now you have to fade 95% of Chip's health bar with all the shenanigans on the table. that's a tall ask. So, a POTUS kind of getting on a run here.
Yeah, scary character to on to.
Mm-hmm. Chip is so good in this game, but oh my god, is this character hard to pilot?
Yeah, I've said it a few times, but not in a while, that I really appreciate Joe Biden as a character, because I believe that they have found a consistent and reasonable play style for tournaments for this character that is that it will be like a something that you can build upon, because I believe that at this character's greatest and highest could possibly be a top 2 character, but that ceiling is maybe unattainable today. It is 100% unattainable today, but maybe one day, maybe not, who knows. But this character is still freaking really good, and Joe Biden has put it in a place where it's like, this is how you play this character consistently and effectively, and I can do this day in and day out.
Yeah, it's so weird, because coming back to this game when we got rollback from Xrd, where we kind of all got used to Chip being this just annoyingly oppressive character with silly buttons and the power of YRC just like making a kit become super cohesive almost instantly, right? And then you come back to this where it's like, if you are not on point with your execution, on point with your decision making, like, you're not going to succeed with this character, straight up. Like, this is not a character you can play haphazard and see consistent success in this game, because you make a mistake and you might die on the spot.
You get the run back from the very first game.
Yeah, all the way back to the beginning. Wow, what a...
You see, they're so much more calm than they were for the first game. This is sick.
All right. Man, hitting those FRCs, keeping the pressure on. Tech. Oof. Hard to recognize.
Tech's weird in this game.
It's so weird, because so many characters go into their throw animation and then they're just like, just kidding. Wow, regular Fafnir. You don't see it much.
Yeah, saving the meter on purpose, and I wonder why.
Yeah. I guess that's one of those, it's like Joe Biden's like, well, he's clearly going to do the Fafnir extension, because Fafnir is minus $1 billion in this game, even on hit. Ooh. Nice block on the dust.
Yeah, might as well go for it.
Oh, the very back end! Doesn't bait the burst, though.
My God. Why is this so tense when they're standing full screen away from each other?
The tick throw.
A normal throw, huh?
Yep.
Walk up.
Again, just Jason will be patient. You have to show throw against him once in a while, right? Like you're not gonna win just doing block strings and trying to open him up with a high-low or anything like that. 50 throw.
I think Joe Biden's recognized that, going to throw a little bit more often and really trying to actually footsie with 6H and 2D and just trying to find that like hit from farther away from when Soul likes to operate.
Nice DP. And of course, Chip, one of those characters like Chip can DP if he's got 25%. That has an FRC on it. It still doesn't put you in the greatest of situations, but it's a tool that you can use to interrupt. Just...
I feel like that was a missed input of some sort. And,
yeah. Wow, jump H from literally orbit. And it gets there, and Joe Biden. Now if you're Team JacobPat, you're kind of nervous. You're kind of nervous because you got Joe Biden getting...
Feeling it.
Getting on point.
Yeah.
You're down. Jason is out of lives now. And...
yeah, I want to
honestly, the remaining cast here, not particularly excited to fight Chip. Even Testament is not particularly excited to fight Chip.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, onto somebody to step up.
Yeah,
or to take out.
Yeah, at this point, you're done playing matchups. You are if you're JacobPat, you are asking remaining members, all right, who's gonna go up and who's gonna take out the POTUS? Who believes they can do it? Looks like Shadow Fox wants to step up.
Yeah, I mean, one of those, just think that the character has well, one thing to say is that at least the character has a really pro. If doesn't if he doesn't teleport right and he kind of just tries to teleport neutral, tries to force his way in, he can eat a lot of damage. And so
Yeah,
we'll see how Shadow Fox tries to approach this.
all right, good start. Gun Blaze. You see those very short charges. You know, it's not the slide head situation. Nice call out.
Didn't get the full combo. That was still like 30%.
Yeah, Gun Blaze. Yep. All right, Shadow Fox looking pretty clean. Yep. FRC. What? Like I said, you can get away with that if you're Chip. Nice tick throw. Not going to be quite enough. The overhead. Well then, Shadow Fox coming in making a statement.
Basically 3 hits.
All right, nice use of the frame trap on 2S. Wow, forward punches Rocket.
Yeah, that forward pressure got a great hitbox for stuff like that.
Absolutely. Wow, caught the tail end. We're just getting the tail end of every hitbox. Wow, run up DP, yep. Wow, all the way from downtown.
That sucks.
Yeah, that... You're waiting for the block stun and it never happens. See action charge. Yep, stay safe. I feel like Joe has hit Shadow Fox 20 times in this matchup and he's still down 30%.
Yeah, it's all been little things. I mean, he got knocked down here. Hopefully he can get something started. Ooh, baits it out. Do it again. Why not?
Rocket, all right. Shadow Fox, oh, maybe got a little too... Yeah, no,
Brother,
got him.
That's not a footsie tool. What are you doing?
I disagree, sir. You do force break beta play whenever you damn well please.
He footsied force break beta played from like 50% of the screen.
That force break is dumb, man. It's really dumb.
Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, it does not get talked about often enough as one, like, everybody talks about the, the force breaks that have given them nightmares, right? Your big bang upper, force break puffball, etc., right? People don't talk about Chip's force breaks that often. He has really stupid force breaks.
He has a good laundry list of them for sure. Oh,
force break beta blade, yeah. Force break beta blade is Klaige. He has the ability to be like, hey, look, I'm doing leaf grab. Just kidding, it's a hitbox now.
Ooh!
Oh, misses the punish though. That was gonna be big. All right, spins the meter, take it to the corner. I like the use of Alpha Blade follow-up to get the corner back. Oh, not even finished there.
Had a great read there, but unfortunately that whole situation gave Shadow
level
Fox
3 on deck. Oh no! He dead?
Oh, it's gonna be close. It's
Chip
gonna be close.
Chip guts?
Chip
just
guts.
enough!
God.
Oh, the jump punch, we're just shaking hands mid-air.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, let's go. Anti-air, get Rose on.
Oh, that feels so bad if you're Shadow Fox. That feels so bad.
This game rules.
Oh, you think you've seen it all in plus R? No, my friend. Every match is another chance for you to just go, what?
Oh, no. You guys are right. Gen Rozon's is absolutely massively fucking special.
It's so janky. It's so janky. And now we all know how the hot dog is, thanks to the first Xrd rollback patch where we got to see Chip just like do the most half-assed T-pose in midair of all time when it wasn't blurring out or obscuring the actual grab animation. But oh my god.
Remember I know this is not on topic or kind of on topic. Exert time double it's again.
Oh yeah.
Where he was blinking in and out of existence, so you could time your Gen Rozon in such a way where the startup was literally invisible, and he would be invisible from Find Me up all the way through Gen Rozon. That was so funny.
And there were color palettes that blended in with the stage in that version. It was They're just like, I'm sorry, do you have 21 vision? No, well, you can't see Chip anymore.
Yeah, you have to like literally see like lights or something. And
Yeah.
him, like, dude, that was sick. Yeah, it's so fun. So my fun tidbit about Guilty Gear in general is that Find Me got nerfed.
Right.
Which is a really funny thing.
Right.
Great character. But yeah, Ken Rozon in this game, I think it's unpunishable. It may be punishable, maybe. I'm not sure, to be honest.
You really do have to try and air grab it or air interrupt it, right? But he has a force break that just basically becomes an air DP. Like, it's really scary. It's not gonna win you the game by itself. You can't just sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna do Ginro's on it. I'm gonna beat this person. No, it's a sometimes food. But man, when that is on the menu, it can be oppressive.
Getting into this one, this is a matchup I actually don't mind too much for Faust, but you don't want to be knocked down, so I think it's slightly difficult for Chip at times. However, there is like this random factor of stuff like Meteor, just like winning you games because his life is so low. So so you have a lot of opportunities to kind of rob this character.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, one of the big things a lot of characters struggle with is like, even if you have a way to go up and kind of chase Chip in the air, right? More often than not, you won't have a button, or at least not one that offers risk reward that makes it worth the effort, right? Faust has Jump H. He has the universal air stops.
Oof. Oh.
Good punish.
Takes the corner as well.
Yeah. And this is where Faust has a problem, right? Like, you're cornered. Wow, trades with the crouch kick. Very nice. Oh, that guard board. All right, stand heavy. Goes up and gets him. Really? I don't even know. I don't think the POTUS expected that burst either, but nothing came of it. All right, item super. Not a great draw.
Oh.
Almost got hit into the bomb, though. The homie is crawling. The homie is crawling. Grip.
OTG?
Yep. Little homie tried to hold down the fort, but the POTUS says, no, sir. I will not be run out of time. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh,
Don't get hit.
Give me back
Don't get hit. Don't get hit.
I love this game.
Oh, no! The homie betrayed him.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute.
Is this going to be a coup? Do we have mutiny on the deck? No, we do not. All right.
I love playing Faust. I love this character so much.
We don't have... I was waiting for this to go completely sideways, and where you're like, well, I guess we got to top baby Faust into the garbage disposal.
Oh, man. I could write a dissertation on why I love playing this character. The stuff like this just is so enjoyable to me, and probably not to the opponent.
I am biting my tongue really hard as someone who has to try and navigate items at all times. And
the Midwest is not kind to Faust.
We're scarred, Bucko. We have PTSD. I hear Nani and I'm just like, please no, anything else. Just, literally anything else. Just don't. I don't want to know what's gonna come out. Please stop. I have a family. Like,
oh man.
But yeah, I mean, literally, what happened? You have the character with the best mobility in the game, and he's like, I'm gonna tech and go back in because I'm not gonna let Faust play this game. And what Faust do? Pull the barbell. And that was it. That's all it was going to take. Confirm off the counter hit. You're one hit away from getting stunned. And you saw it, like, Joe Biden, like, was just like, okay, I live in the upper part of the screen where this man cannot hurt me. But just ran out of air actions and got hit by jump heavy, and that was it.
Very, very, I really just, that stuff like that happen. Players start foaming at the mouth. They're just
Oh,
like,
dude.
This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me.
Pick your favorite anime scene of a character's eyes just igniting in the background with the lightning bolt behind them,
man.
and they're just like, oh, my time has come to ascend.
Every Faust player in the world is just like, we've all just waited for that one moment where counter hit a low stun character with dumbbell and we can combo off it. We're just licking our lips for that moment. Everything else in the middle is just like waiting for mini pot, but like,
right?
we just wait for random confirm until you're dead. We're just like, we're so nice.
I remember when we were playing Exert again in my area of the words, and Murphigator picked up Faust and he dropped him, and he's like, he told me, he's like, I have to stop playing this character, and I'm like, why? He's like, because I literally throw item and just assume it's going to be hammer, and I always jump up to do the most counter hit damage. Like it's a drug. Like you literally can't stop.
What are you doing?
So here we are.
Oh, back on bad crime.
This is the life we're living now. We're actually. You know what? You do this. You go ahead, Faust player. Tell me what kind of intricacies are going to happen in this shit show.
There is this weird. Okay, there is one interesting thing about this, which is that item toss is something that you can't do for free because of scalpel, right? So now you're kind of like making decisions like this on whether you're going in, whether you're tossing item, or whether you're doing scalpel pull, and they all have counters. So you kind of, you're constantly trying to shoot for item to like win you the game, but until then you have to sort of look for these moments in the game.
That is the most clown shoes RTS I've ever heard of in my life, and I hate it here.
Yeah, it's sick.
You all need institutionalized. All jokes aside, bomb, barbell, be careful.
Yeah, you can see the way that they're going up for bomb bag. They're trying to stay out of jump H range.
Right.
And they're just, because you can't, if you do a bad bomb bag, you will get sniped out of it.
Right. In all seriousness, these are the kind of mirrors I find a lot more interesting because, a mirror match like, oh, lol, 5-5. Well, duh. But there are two types of mirror matches more often than not. There's the mirror matches where the character doesn't deal with their own kit worth a damn, and then as soon as someone gets momentum, it's a problem. But then you have ones like this where the character actually handles their own kit exceedingly well.
Yeah.
So like you said, there's, as much as I am loath to admit it, there is actual decision making and strategy going on.
Yeah, it's all for the item, don't get me wrong. But
right.
But everything has a counter to it, and it's a good counter.
That was the worst item super of all time.
Yeah, it might have been.
Do not, man, don't go across the street. You're going to get hit by a train on a public road. That was 2 candy bars, a coin, and a donut?
Yeah.
That was abhorrent, bucko.
Daisuke giveth, Daisuke taketh away.
He took it away with interest. My man's came to the home, calling for his Yakuza protection money on that one.
Nice confirm off the counter hit. Yep, see, you can't toss for free.
Yeah, poison.
Full screen.
That was smart. Got the poison. It's just like, nope, go over there where you belong. All right, meteors, there's a real item. Bombs, also a real item. Oh, no.
Just a little bit too late. Almost
the timing was so right for complete shenanigans. Of course.
Oh, man.
Somebody build me a spicy gulag
which
so I can put all the Faust players in there.
I was enjoying myself too much.
Not for Dorf one.
Okay, thank you.
You all belong to the spicy gulag. You're all menaces to society.
Oh man, it was absolutely toxic. It was great.
Of course it is.
I play to not to win, but to steal your fun. And I want the fun to become my fun, and then I will put that fun in the bank, and I will get fun interest.
You are a blue-white control player at heart. You're just like, I'm not playing to win. I'm just playing so you can't play.
Yes. Why would I interact with you? What's going?
Yeah.
Why would I play the video game with you? Understand what I could play the game alone over here and win the game.
Right. What if I got a trophy for playing solitaire?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So Blitz is going to come up. This has classically been one of Faust's more difficult matchups to navigate because Faust has a whole bunch of items, and yet, you know, like, you can't predict what's going to come out. But Melia has the best item in air. It's called Hairpin.
Yeah. Yeah. Faust doesn't necessarily have a lot of bad matchups in this game, but he does have this one, and it is quite difficult because outside of the neutral, which Faust has to be a little bit squirrely with, the knockdown situation can be pretty difficult, and players like Blitz have the combo down that just does a substantial amount of damage.
Yeah, the biggest dust loop in the game is Melia against Faust. Like, nice anti-air. Wow, Gold Burst the chop. Yep, the cross up. Yeah, you're not surviving that. Blitz takes round 1.
Plus, this
that's the thing, like
air movement, their jump speed, how small their hitbox is in the air.
Yep.
Means, Oki can be kind of difficult. You have to guess kind of well over.
Confirm. We don't need a hairpin knockdown in this game, bucko. Yep, empty low. Probably baiting a burst there, I would guess. Oh, no. It was still there. Wow. That was the closest range forward heavy I've ever seen. Wow, throws. Actually through roll. It happened.
Yeah,
it is possible.
6H does have a dead zone. Don't see it often, but it does exist.
All right. Yep. Fake cross up. Oh, just out of range. Oh, Longinus.
Yeah, it doesn't... catches everybody, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I think Longinus is one of the cooler force breaks.
No, it is. It's really good. And actually made Lust Shaker not suck. Which used to be just a weird move that used to put you, like, technically plus, but also, like, sometimes negative because a move would just, like, the hit would whiff, and now you're in recovery. It was inconsistent and weird. And Longinus really, like, kind of fixes things.
Yeah. It's what I like to see out of something like Force Break, right? Like, you give a move that isn't particularly good some actual strength and utility, and it's just like it's a cool looking Force Break. Like,
it's a Force really strong repurposed asset. It's just.
Yep.
I love stuff like that. That's about old fighting games. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a chance Blitz wraps this up. Absolutely. Is that strong of a player playing that strong of a character?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
it actually left on Tmunny here. Tmunny, Naj, Microwave, Sunny, and Duck Jump. So, honestly, maybe I can't speak Cliff versus Milk matchup because I just Cliff players do. Man, for 3 of those matchups. Yeah, I think that's why they're sending team. I don't think I like Pot or Betty. Oh, Blitz bullies everybody. It's just the nature of the character. Klaige was talking about it earlier, but like this character bullies, not in the sense of like putting a bunch of buttons in your face, but rather just using movement better than you. Having hairpin, which you know, if you block it, get in jail for free as we start up. Go. DP and hit him out of the air. Probably force break this. Tries to keep him locked down. Earns enough respect and wasn't able to fully confirm but gets the air throw afterwards. That's a completely depleted burst bar. Unfortunate as we're going to the. However, Melia does need to hit you quite a few times, so there is a chance that Tmunny gets this back, but right now it's just gonna be little bit too high floaty character. Wasn't able to get the best call.
I think I'm a little behind. I get a nice bit of waiting there in the middle of that first round. So I might be just a tick behind you now.
Yeah, no worries.
But, all right, full DP, yep. Bonk, bonk. Overhead. No meter for it. Just going to do pressure. Nice rollout. Really smart by Blitz there. Escape the corner, but got a pretty substantial life deficit to deal with. Wow, oh, he went for the fancy combo. Oh, calls out the disc. Oh. Tmunny might not get his burst back here. Okay, dead angle. But just ran forward and pushed Blitz back on his wake up. Not many characters can get away with doing that.
Knockdown. Oh, I got force break. Cross-up force break disc is so unbelievable difficult to deal with. This requires a hard read, and yep, time. Very close to Sun, and that's just going to be throw. Oh, no, lets him tag. Gets the dead angle. Come back, trying to look for some sort of defensive option. Maybe a burst. We got the burst there. Force break disc, just trying to set the neutral up. We're just a pixel of health for Tmunny, and it's close. Let's continue rolling along.
Yep. Yeah, that's not a fun situation. Like, massive life deficit against Amelia. Like, part of you's like, okay, super low defense character, big counter hit gets me back in the game, but you're also like trying to catch the fly with the chopsticks, and all they have to do is flick you with anything. So yeah, pretty clean overall by Blitz that last round. Really good shape.
Also, there's also and
absolutely.
Save what we think could be the best option for last. Do we now and leave ourselves more options? That option now it could be GG's. You know,
I think at this point, like, you're kind of, this is like critical mass point, right? Like, you let Blitz stay on the setup for much longer, and it may not matter who you throw. So at this point, I think you just ask amongst yourselves who wants to go try and catch Bilia. Like,
yeah, honestly, you do get to this point, I think, where consider a bit of strategy, but at the same time, you're like, if anybody wants to, take a shot at it.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like you can beat him, that's valuable amount of confidence.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, technically you have a life in hand over the other team, but you can't really afford to be, like, you can't look ahead at this point. Like, you literally just have to be like, okay, we have to get Blitz off the machine first, and then we'll worry about dealing with the other two as it comes. Which is the fun part of these kind of exhibitions, especially when they go close to the distance, is you transition from that, like, oh, we can play the matchup, or we can see who does well against this player, blah blah blah, and then it just gets down to, like, nope, go win the game.
Yeah, especially when you're on a roll like this, like just stopping them, the large task.
Mm-hmm.
It's a character that gets to run, like, especially against melee. It's like, it's a little bit different, I think I would say, if you're playing it against like a Soul Kai, like any character that sort of doesn't really high-low you, but rather just like, strike throw kind of set pressure kind of character. Which, yes, don't get me wrong, like Soul with momentum is very scary, but like when the game plan ends up being a little bit simpler than that, in my opinion, for Milia, it is a little bit simpler. You kind of have to find the hit, knock down, run the game. I think at least for me, it would give me a little bit more confidence. I just got a thing, and my thing is so easy to do.
Absolutely. So we're gonna send up Duck John, and honestly, like, I think this is smart. Like, even if you don't really, maybe if Duck John isn't super comfortable with the matchup or playing Blitz, send up the character that can rob someone.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
I do believe there is some situations where chop, or I should say spot dodge, is very valuable versus Hiroki.
Absolutely.
So I do think that this is a good decision.
Yeah, it's the other thing that has become a big staple with the improvements that Cliff has seen from the Cliff community is that a lot of characters that rely on looping Oki to hold down their momentum don't get to do that against Cliff, especially off the first knockdown, because the first spot dodge is pretty much always free. He is not going to break his back on that. And in most situations, usually 2 is also okay, but basically no real Oki-based character outside of Dizzy can force Cliff to hold it down when he chooses to spot dodge. You have to play the RPS. So far, Blitz is doing a good job. Just used the air disc and then ran up. Got the easy throw. Nice block on the Secret Garden mix, though. All right. Oof.
We've seen that, too.
Yep. Wasn't able to get the full confirm. Yep. Cliff hitboxes. All right. Wow, yep. Limb sever to just come down. The hit? Got enough? Is the burst? Yep. Yep, no way to make drill burst safe there without meter. But yep, just use the big normal in the air.
Just sort of like just using huge normals and making it really difficult. Also, in general, you're seeing that Duckjohn is really trying his best to stay perpendicular, or sorry, parallel to Blitz. Just like, if you're not at the angle where pin works, like, I'm way happier. Oh my god, the confirm.
Absolutely. Yep. A whip for a retech, though. But Duckjohn does escape. Nice forward punch.
Let's keep
Bert
in.
Yeah, just trying to keep... Well, that's one way to get it back, but at what cost? At what cost?
Why did 5H spin all the way around him?
Good question. Duckjohn just a hit away. Yeah, just jump and do your big normal.
He spun all the way. Flip is still sick.
I hate that move. I hate that move
5H
so much.
is so good. 5H is
it's
crazy good normal.
That is the other truly frustrating part of fighting Cliff, is this character's hitboxes are obscene. They're not finished. Like, I'm sorry. They just like, that's a hitbox. Is it Guilty Gear Creator? Are you sure about that?
It's so funny because that character, or that normal just does so much for the character. And then, like, it just has this, like, massively weird robbery potential that, like, I'm not even sure if Cliff players fully know the extent of it, because I feel like sometimes I just watch them do nothing for 15 seconds and they go, oh, sick, that counter hit. 2S into full combo. And you're like, okay, cool.
They actually become Cliff. They have the reaction time of a billion-year-old man. It's just like, oh, I'll take the damage, sure. Like, yeah. What if a geriatric 360 no scoped you, but it was with a giant Buster Sword?
It's very weird because Guilty Gear doesn't actually have a crap ton of buttons like this. If a character has it, it's usually 1 or 2 of them. So like a cross-up hitbox that's very potent on the ground. Yeah, he's just chock full of them, and it makes it very weird, especially considering now that we are getting to that point where we are playing against Cliff very consistently. Not only do we have a set of top-tier Cliff players who we consider to be a threat in tournaments, but rather also because those players have built a plan for that character, that we see a lot of people have ended up picking up the character in the last 2 years. And now this is a reoccurring character, not only in ranked, but in tournament as well. So now it's like, we're kind of getting used to this a little bit more. And as we do, we're kind of like, it's with some growing pains, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just buttons the character has that you just kind of look at and you go, well, why though? Like, it just go bring up Master and Student. Go bring up Cliff and Kai on the same wiki and look at their far S's, and then you tell me there's a god, because there's not.
What if we gave Cliff what if we gave Cliff a smaller? What if we gave him Thunder?
Just gave him Thunder Seal instead.
Yeah. give Kai Dragon Slayer.
He'd probably swing it once and then throw it into orbit because it doesn't weigh enough.
Yeah.
Just does one far S and the sword leaves the atmosphere, which I'd be okay with.
So we get Skeletal into this one. Ooh,
wow,
nice Danzai.
How do you? We're just. This is larceny, the matchup.
I know.
Someone is getting robbed. Someone is getting robbed today. And it's not going to be a peaceful robbing while the family's out of the house. No,
you get to pick your weapon and leave your wallet in the center of the stage, and one of us gets both of them at the end of it.
2 war crimes enter, 1 war crime leaves.
Ooh, nice confirm.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. Yep. And like normally there would definitely be a point where I'd be like, oh, this is not a fun matchup for Cliff, given the situation. But then, you know, I've seen like 4,700 Twitter clips from T5 showing all the anti-ABA tech, and I'm like, nah, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Baits the Danzai, very nice. No punish though.
Pressure up.
Ooh, the clash and ABA's. Wow, just goes down and what?
No!
Oh no,
he canceled it too early. Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I actually didn't know how that was gonna interact.
Oh yeah, no, that's got enough back. That's the other thing this character has that is so unique to Guilty Gear, right? Almost all his moves have a ton of active frames.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we think about like good buttons, you know, it's like, oh, this is really good because it has a great hitbox and it might low profile or something. And it's active for like, you know, 4 frames, which is a lot. But like, just it feels like everything this character does is on the screen for 5+ frames. Oh, all right, drill out of the corner. That's scary, but still not.
Yeah, I'm gonna Goku here because we're getting into that scary point where another knockdown could kill me.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely the correct thing to do. In a matchup like this, ABA, you don't have the saving Goku Moroha for a combo or as your get out of jail card. Like you gotta. That's it, right? Oh, he missed it. Oh, okay, no, he's okay.
So
I see.
all right.
God, yep. I was like, oh no, did he missed the input? It's like, oh, never mind, Moroha's done. I'm stupid. When the commentator is not playing and still has worse situational awareness, amazing. God.
And you know that's why they're there. We get into we got 1 more life for JacobPat. It is.
Yeah. After that big start, has been back and forth, but just Team Tmunny just kind of slowly whittling down with these 2 and 3 game win streaks. And yeah, no, the captain's got to do it his dang self now.
And he can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cliff has to clear out webs and trees just like everyone else, but the one thing Cliff does have in this matchup is this is one of those matchups where, like, oh, Testament got thrown, they might be dead.
Yeah, one of Testament's weird cons as a character, that he gets kind of calm.
Yeah,
and
the fattest of hitboxes.
Yeah. For character specialists like Cliff players, that's food for them.
Yeah, and then in addition, Testament also does not deal with stun well, so something has to be accounted for. Like, this is one of those matchups where, like, JacobPat can play this flawlessly, right? Like, get everything out, get all the stuff going, and then one hit, and suddenly life is real scary. Gotta block, gotta fade it all. Yep,
Very
so hard. Baits the burst. Yep. Scary now. It is real scary now. Yep. Just gonna hold it down. Okay, gets out. Duckshot does have a burst. Yeah, absolutely. Master of Puppets is out. You have a little bit of coverage now. Baits the burst. Okay.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yup.
Yep.
Yeah, Master Puppet's absolutely one of the best win cons in the entire game.
Yep.
And once you hit it, you are almost likely to be one touch to death. As we get counter hit Hitomi, and we're still in the corner for Oki. Oh god.
Good block though, but eventually gets opened up. Yeah, that'll combo. Of course it will. Why wouldn't it? What can't web combo it to?
An opportunity, another fake overhead into a throw.
It's
been working
so
out.
hard to deal
Very
with.
hard. Very hard.
You literally have to convince yourself to hit the throw, and it's scary because you don't want to hit a button during cliff pressure like that because you get counter hit. Well, wham.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like it is very difficult, and big win for
JacobPat
Duck
says,
John.
I have throws too. Yeah.
Yeah, getting that out. Oh.
Oh, that drop throw.
No!
Oh no! Okay, Nape saddle.
Oh.
Nice block on the JD. Wow, yep. Annoying aspect of drill. Cliff's hitbox rears back just a little bit as he starts it up. All right. JacobPat gets the first grip this time. Tried to backdash out of EXE Beast, nothing doing, but gets enough room to taunt. That. Really good awareness.
Active.
Yeah, I thought they would be active in time, but JacobPat knew and just went in, but yeah, past the burst, and now in the corner.
Oh, so smart. He waited out EXE Beast. That was sick.
And again, JacobPat has not stopped IAD throw yet. Yep, sets up the mix. Oh, he wasn't baiting reversal super, though. All right, Sweep gets him out of EXE Beast. Yep.
Yeah.
Too close, and that's it.
That's it. Duck John taking it with 3 impressive performances in a row, and Tmunny takes it.
Yeah, just couldn't. That's the thing. Like, so many. Like that situation there where Cliff got just enough room to sweep, right? Most characters cannot challenge Testament there. But what if you had a sweep that is as long as Millions, but it's 7-frame startup? Like, Cliff just gets to answer things, especially with instant block. Like, if Cliff instant blocks those kind of EXEB situations, he honestly is one of the better characters in the game at making escapes that a lot of characters just kind of have to either hold the mix or they have to take a big risk. And it's a risk for Cliff to poke there, but he got enough breathing room. It's just like, oh, cool, I'll take mine.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't really expect it, but a lot of the times, like, any character that has the ability to sort of poke at that, like, range that...
Yes.
That Testament doesn't really want to be. You know, it's hard to get there, but once you get Faust on or Testament on his butt, like harassing him, it can be quite effective and making it really difficult. And he kind of has to start guessing on where he wants to jump out. If he wants to start risking prints, a lot of that stuff becomes pretty difficult. And then on top of which, you have Cliff's just damage output if he makes a mistake. So great stuff. I mean, a lot of really good stuff from Duck John and basically won.
Yeah, really fun matchups all the way across. Like we saw some good runs from multiple players there, and got to see a lot of matchups you don't get to see all that often.
Yeah, very cool.
And +R, which is cool. Well, kind of a different look there. So yeah, GG's to Tmunny. Congrats and good stuff from JacobPat's team, of course. So yeah, really fun little exhibition. These things are just fun. I love that we just do these unique formats and put some fun +R on display because we can.
Absolutely. And if you did like this, I will fill this out. That in a few, we're going to, or 2 weeks from now, I should say specifically, we do have the Overdrive Online Invitational. We're running the players that you see right here. A lot of the players that you saw today and a few new ones as well. So it will be just as good. It will be a really fun exhibition, invitational thing. And I think you stick around and try to watch it. I don't know if I'm streaming it. I wouldn't mind, but we'll obviously get that update as we go along. But it will be really cool. So I think the first and foremost, you should follow Melon at thrillho_125. I'll actually just throw it in chat right here. That way you can have all of the information and know who to follow. Person who basically put it all together, Melon, thank you so much, because that hard work is hard. Thank you so much for doing all of the back end stuff that makes this.
Yeah, no, just because it's easy to set up a lobby and do stuff does not mean it's easy to organize people and find out who's available to actually make these things run. So yeah, shout outs to Melon and anyone who puts together these kind of cool little online events. It is not trivial to get groups of gamers together to do something.
Yeah,
like,
no,
let's be real. So
this is 16 other people. No, wait, 16 other people to work with, plus myself and Klaige and anybody else that was helping Melon organize.
Yeah,
super thank you all of the hard work that was put onto this. Thank you to all the players who put aside 2 and some odd hours in order to get this done and give us some good Guilty Gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't keep you guys here for much longer. Klaige, do you have anything else to say?
Not much. Just nice to start a day off with some good ass Guilty Gear.
Absolutely.
Can't ask for more than that. And
So,
if you're new to Plus R and you haven't got to check it out, this game is regularly on sale for $3 whole flipping dollars, which is less than the cost of half a sandwich these days. And will leave you a lot more satisfied if you start hitting people with stupid shit. So, go pick up Plus R and play it. If you picked it up and you haven't gotten to dive in, or you felt intimidated, like, there are a billion communities. The Plus R Discord has so many people that will teach you from every level, from the ground floor up to some very stupid min-maxing that has been discovered for almost every character at this point. So, yeah, come join us in Plus R land. We have degeneracy and more degeneracy.
Absolutely. And with that, I'll let you guys go. Once again, thank you to Melon for putting this all together. Please follow him for more. We'll be doing more Overdrive Online stuff. But for Klaige and myself, thank you guys so much for joining us this Sunday, and I hope to see you guys next time.
Peace.